Hi Gemini, welcome to your November 2020 reading. I'm not gonna lie, I started a video to start your reading and I couldn't stop yawning. All of a sudden I feel tired. So I don't know if you feel exhausted at this point or at this time, but I am feeling all of a sudden tired. I was just feeling amped and motivated, and now I'm not feeling not motivated, but I'm feeling tired. So I'm feeling tired, yeah. All of a sudden, my eyes feel tired. I'm feeling tired all of a sudden. And this King of Swords just keeps popping out of the deck. So I don't know if you're in a space where you are ready to communicate some deliberated ideas, or it feels like decisions, but I'm getting that vibe. How are you doing? Please, if you feel called to write down how you're doing in the comments down below, that would be great. That way we can start a conversation. And I can start by saying, I am doing well. Here comes the yawn. Excuse me. Excuse me. I'm doing well, but I feel tired all of a sudden. So there's that. Aside from that, yeah, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling great. So I hope you are feeling great. How I've been structuring the readings, or our readings, is by pulling a card for the theme of your month and then probing that theme with other cards to see what the story is. And then one thing that I've added this month is adding, I'm suppressing a yawn right now. I don't know what's all of a sudden I feel tired. Excuse me. At the end of the reading, I'm adding a focus of the month. I'm adding a focus. Yeah, I don't know if you're feeling tired and if you're feeling kind of scattered, but I don't feel necessarily scattered, but I don't feel focused. I don't feel very focused. It's not that I don't feel, it's like you feel free. No, it's not that I don't feel focused, but I feel like I could be distracted though. I have that energy where I feel like I could be distracted. All right, so we're gonna intentionally shuffle for the theme of your month. The Nine of Cups comes out. That was the Virgo card for the month. All right, let's see. I already know how my hands and this deck is set up. My hands are too small, or are the same size as the deck. Goes to 7. You know what? I'm not going to do that. I just got the overwhelming urge to call my grandmother. I don't know if you're thinking about your grandparents at this time. But I just got the overwhelming urge to call my grandmother. And I said the Nine of Swords, the Nine of Cups came out for Virgo. And here's the Hermit, the Virgo card. I don't know if you're dealing with a Virgo. All right. Let's look at what the theme of your month is. And I will call my grandmother. Let's look at the theme of your month, Gemini. Let's look at the theme of your month. So Gemini, I'm going to be presenting to you a story. If it resonates, please take it. If it doesn't, don't force it. We're looking at the story of your November, starting with the theme of your month. All messages are for Gemini's highest good. What are they in need of knowing this month? Please show us. We're promoting clarity and direction. What is the theme of Gemini's November 2020, although all readings are timeless? What is the theme of the month for Gemini? At the bottom of the deck, we have the King of Pentacles. And on top, the theme is the Three of Swords. Let's probe that before I even talk about it. Let's probe. We have a king. And you know what? The King of Pentacles could be that Virgo that I was feeling. All right. I was going after this card. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Cups. So it could have been a situation where you're leaving something or someone left. But let's see. All right. All messages are for Gemini's highest good. We're probing the Three of Wands. Three of Swords. I apologize, Gemini. The Three of Swords. What is the Three of Swords here to show Gemini for the month of November? I bought this deck off of Etsy, and I bought it because it looked in the picture like it would be good to shuffle with. Can I tell you that it is very good to shuffle with? Very good. Let's see what the theme of the month has to show us. The Three of Swords. What is it here to show us? What is the Three of Swords here to show us? What is the Three of Swords here to show us? I just remembered that my phone is not on Do Not Disturb. And that feeling about like, it's like, you know what, let's just make sure that we don't have any disturbances, because it's about you right now. Oh, we're in the Five of Cups energy. Underneath, let's see, the Three of Swords, we have the Nine of Wands, the World, the Three of Pentacles, and the Hermit. Okay, so I am so curious. Okay, but there is some form of an ending. There's some form of an ending that I'm seeing. But what I'm feeling is the energy is moving this way. Well, I took the cards out like that, but sometimes I will be called to a starting point that's not here or here, but in the middle. But it feels like there's a progression moving. It could be that it's moving inward and not necessarily to a Virgo, because it feels like the energy started off as skeptical. When I say skeptical, it's fearful, feeling in need of protection. feeling in need of protection, and it could be in the realm of your ideas. But then since then, there has been an opening to the idea. So this is a 9, and now we're at a circle. This is like a cycle, the end of a cycle, and the beginning of a new one. So there has been an opening since this energy, and it has opened up to collaboration. It could be with a Virgo, or collaboration in reference to something introspective, something spiritual. Let's see. I'm going to probe with this deck. And I am going to start. I'm curious to know about the Virgo. So I'm going to start there. This will be our focus. Let's see. Let's see. Because I have this vibe. Usually I'll start like explaining what I feel. I have this vibe to not. I have this vibe to not feel like this feeling of don't. And just look at first. Okay, jeez. I will do just that. And I won't take it personally that you're yelling at me. Another King of Swords. I don't know if... okay, so because I recorded the video and then I stopped it because I couldn't stop yawning. It could be that the King of Swords that I'm talking about was in the first video, but the King of Swords from this deck came out a few times. And here's it again in a different deck. So I don't know if that's you, but I guess we'll see. We will see. Right. Probing the Virgo. The Virgo card. Or the Hermit. Probing the Hermit. I don't know if you are in a relationship. Maybe you're in a relationship with a Virgo, because I keep feeling the need to call out that energy. A Gemini and a Virgo astrologically equals a square. You both have the same quality, being mutable to be moved, but are incompatible with your element, earth and air. Not very compatible. But anything in astrology could work. Anything can work. Just depends on how much work you're willing to put into it. That's for those that are dating a Virgo, because Virgo just keeps coming out. Although I'm going to refer to this as the Hermit unless Virgo comes out of my mouth again. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Chariot card, which is the Cancer card. Let's see what the Hermit, I was going to say the Virgo. The Hermit has to show us. So we have the King of Cups. This King of Cups has come out in different decks for a few signs. Come out for Scorpio. It has come out for Aquarius. Interesting. The Eight of Cups, the Queen of Cups, and Judgment. I'm feeling introspection. I'm feeling introspection. And then look at that. And then look at that. The mirroring. Right? We see that. Or let me say, do we see that? How they mirror each other, create a little pattern. So we have the King of Cups, the Eight of Cups, the Queen of Cups, and Judgment with Virgo. This feels like alignment, the need to get into alignment. This feels like the need to get into alignment. This feels so ordained. Spiritual card, this feels so ordained. The two aspects of oneself. Gemini, this is not surprising at all. We have the female, or let me say the feminine quality of emotional intelligence. The feminine quality of love. And then we have the masculine quality, or the feminine expression and the masculine expression of love, of emotion, of feeling. And then what separates these two from uniting is the need to let go, but it feels like the need to dive in. Like to let go, no, it feels like the need to dive in. And it's nice that it's displayed this way because it also feels that way. The need to dive in. And I was feeling that introspection outside of the Virgo. I was feeling that. And then to the Virgo now. But then with the judgment aspect, it feels like it's time to do it. It's time to dive in. And this is healing as opposed to a broken heart. This is feeling like the representation of healing. Now to the Virgo, it could be that this Virgo and you, Gemini, are... You know what? Let me not even say that because I don't feel that way. I don't feel that way. I do not feel that way. I feel like this is the balancing of two energies, but then this could mean in reference to, let's say, yes, let me go back to the relationship, that I don't feel that way. I keep trying. I don't feel that way. I don't. This looks romantic, right? It could look romantic because we have the queen and king, but I don't feel that. I don't feel that. I strongly don't. I strongly don't. It feels like two aspects to one thing, and it's time to get to know them. It's time to get to know them. That's what I'm feeling. And then also with the Chariot at the bottom of the deck, there's that vibe of needing to move forward and do this. But maybe what's delaying this process is the fact that you are in a space that is, honestly, this could bring you there, but your focus is elsewhere. Your focus is elsewhere. But I do acknowledge, or I can acknowledge that this can bring you into that Eight of Cups energy. So it's like the Three of Cups, the Five of Cups to the Eight of Cups energy, or the Three of Swords to the Five of Cups to the Eight of Cups energy, where you're maybe something hurt your feelings. This is you expressing that hurt. And then this is you diving in to see what is actually the matter to then get to the healing side of this. Interesting. All right, let's continue. So that was the Hermit. I want to look at what you are possibly defensive towards. We have the Wheel of Fortune, the World, ending a cycle, Justice, and the Seven of Swords. Yeah, I feel like there's this sense of karma and the end of a cycle. So I'm feeling the end of a cycle with these two cards. The Wheel of Fortune, it taking, a cycle. And then also we have the World twice. The World is over here. So I feel like there's a delay in possibly ending a cycle or the defense towards it. There's some form of fear or resistance towards this cycle ending. And then I also feel a sense of karma towards this with the Wheel of Fortune. And then we also have Justice. This is the Jupiter card. And then this is Libra. I'm feeling that. And then this is Saturn. But with the Seven of Swords, I feel like you're deceiving yourself. I feel like this is yourself that you're deceiving. You're trying to convince it. This feels like denial. You're trying to convince yourself of something that's actually not real. And that's delaying this process. And this goes back to that ascension, that feeling of getting to know yourself. And as I'm speaking, my third eye, I'm feeling it more. I'm feeling it. So I don't know if you are in a cycle right now, Gemini, where you are, I said ascension. Maybe it's something that involves that. You having to get into yourself to raise your vibration. To raise your vibration. But I'm getting the sense that there is something that needs to be over. It's something that is going to be over, regardless of your participation in the harmony of it or not. Something is ending. Let's put it that way. Something is ending. It's not it doesn't have a bad vibe. It doesn't have a bad vibe, but it just feels like it's karmic. It feels like it's karmic. So this could be your karma towards something that has happened in the past or a past life, and now you're being released of that. Or it feels though that something is ending, and I'm just this caught my attention, the middle. It's so bright, and it feels like it's just expanding, like maybe you're going through a spiritual awakening. Maybe you're awakening, and you may not see it as spiritual at this time, but maybe there's an awakening inside of you. It's blossoming, and it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger and brighter. Feels like an ascension though. And so far I'm seeing that the key is to recognize both feminine and masculine aspects of yourself. Recognize that both of them exist within you. Let's look at this cycle, the world. This feels like the cycle. Let's see what it is. So we have the 6 of Wands, the 3 of Wands, the 7 of Cups, and the Queen of Pentacles. Interesting. 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 So there is an awareness of where to go. There is an awareness of where to go, even when thrown with a little distraction. Even when thrown with a curveball to see if you will bite the bait of being enticed by something. There's a feeling of where to go. And there again is that ball. I don't know if this is like, it just feels like something is building. Something is building inside of you. Something has been ignited or lit inside of you. And you are very much aware of it. But I wonder if you're scared of it. You're scared. Kundalini just came to my mind. Kundalini. And then I'm noticing this ball. There. But here the world represents... It feels like the ending of something through acknowledging the start of something. Because you're aware of the start, you're now aware that something has to end. And I feel like that thing that has to end is what you're holding on to. A sense of yourself. It's like an identity. And then we go from the 6 to the 3 here. We go from the 6, confidence, to the 3. We have 2 3s here too. But at the same time, it still feels purposeful. It still feels intentional. So it doesn't feel like a decrease in energy. It doesn't feel like a decrease. It just feels like confidence towards moving in a certain direction. And maybe this is not necessarily a distraction presented to you in the idea of, oh, let's see if Gemini is going to do this. But maybe this is you trying to create distractions for yourself to avoid whatever it is that you need to do, which is to continue on the cycle. But there is awareness. And her arms look like an eye. And then there's this eye here. And then mine that is awake and open. But it feels like an inner sight. That's what it feels like. And maybe it's something that you've been nurturing. Unknowingly, maybe. Or activated even unknowingly. Interesting. All right, we have the 3 of Pentacles left. Let's probe that. We have the 8 of Pentacles, the Lovers, the King of Wands, and the 10 of Cups. So maybe what... There's this active action. So there's work being put towards building something, and the something is your happiness. And maybe, you know what I'm feeling here is that there was effort put towards getting to know your emotions. There was effort put towards it. And now I feel like you're at a new level where it needs to be explored in a more in-depth way. That's what I'm feeling. And this effort towards getting to know your emotions was off of working or actively putting effort in a connection. This is your card, the Gemini card. So this could be the connection with yourself. Because although it is the Lovers and it could be a relationship, this just feels like a union of the two aspects of yourself. I don't get a romantic vibe, but it could be because we have the pieces for that. But I strongly don't feel that, but I will open myself a little bit more. I don't feel that. I don't feel it. I don't feel it. This feels like it's personal to you. Getting into union with yourself. Some form of ascension. It feels spiritual. That's what it feels like. And there was effort put towards uniting yourself. And then this aspect of yourself that you're getting to know is an emotional aspect. But there's a long-term vision. Like, you have a plan. But I think that there's the plan here, and putting it into action is just what is intimidating. Because I feel like maybe this was understood some time ago, and it's like, oh my gosh, now it was like you're pregnant. And it's like, people who are pregnant know eventually the baby has to come out. But still, it's surprising and scary when that time comes where it's like, okay, the baby has to come out now. It's like, oh my gosh, wait. I'm not ready, but you are, because the baby has to come out. So although mentally you might not be ready, physically your body is saying that it's time for the baby to come out. I'm feeling that energy here where you had an awareness of something, or maybe you were aware that something was triggered inside of you. And now, because there's this working towards getting into alignment with yourself. And I don't know if you, in doing so, ignited transformation for yourself and a leveling up in terms of your frequency or vibration, both of them. But an ascension, you're rising. And then there again is the circle. It's the ball. But here, so I feel like this ball, this move is towards your happiness. It's towards your internal happiness. Well, that's the, dodecahedron? Again, it's bringing me back into the spiritual matter. We have the dodecahedron here. This is the physical representation. So these are geometric solids. This is or platonic solids. This is the physical representation of the universe or the cosmos or the ether. They're not all synonymous, but through my research, I bumped across all three words in reference to the dodecahedron. I have it in this clear quartz crystal, and then I also have it in this clear quartz crystal, but it's not as clear. The dodecahedron. I don't know if you're a light worker. Maybe you're a light worker. But it feels like your happiness is cosmic. And then this union is intimidating because it requires you to have to let go of maybe what you're letting go of here and diving into is yourself so that you can dissolve it. This feels spiritual. It feels really spiritual. Like goosebumpy. I have goosebumps because here, now seeing it all unfold, feels like the union. Now let me try to open myself to the idea of this being a relationship. I'm forcing it. And I told you in the beginning, if this is your message, if it resonates, take it. If it's not, don't force it. I'm not going to force it. I don't feel like it's that. I feel like it's you. These are different versions of you. And it's confirmed with the Gemini card. Okay, so let's do a recap. Let's do a recap. Let's do a recap. I want to sing Frozen right now. Do you want to build a snowman? Okay, let's do a recap. All right. The theme of your month is the healing of something. The healing of different aspects of yourself, I feel. That's what this feels like. And it's interesting that we have the heart and water all around. And then the clouds and the swords. It feels like a mixture of air and water energy here. So there's this sense of moving on. There's this sense of needing to move forward. And underneath that, we have the death card. So I feel like there is this transformation that's taking place. There's a transformation that's taking place and it's bringing you inward. It's bringing you inward. Oh, it was this way. It's bringing you to your core. And in your core, being the Hermit card, we have the King and Queen of Cups, which is, some people will find it to be their innermost self, your emotions, and the need to dive into them. And just the idea of it looking like a person sitting at the edge of a swimming pool and the vibe of diving in. And then also to know that it looks like a mirror of that, minus the cups with the, yeah, you're going into a new realm. That's what it feels like. You're moving into a new space. This feels like ascension. But first it requires you to go in. As above, so below. So your depth, the depth that you're diving into will be the height that you go up to. But there's this need to get to know that aspect of yourself, a need for deep introspection. And it feels like a spiritual calling. Like it feels like something you cannot avoid. You have no control over it. Now, is that it? No, it's this one. There is some apprehension, though, to initiating or being involved in this cycle that has to end, and it feels karmic. It feels like it's time. That's what it feels like. It feels like it's time. Now is the time. As I mentioned before, it feels karmic with justice and the world together. And the wheel together. And then the cycle with the wheel and the world. But there's this sense of denial with the Seven of Swords. You trying to kind of lie to yourself about this. Trying to get out of it. But this energy here is prompting you to feel this way. Apprehensive. Kind of scared. I'm getting more of a scared vibe. And the reason why I feel like you're scared is because this has been building for some time. This has been building for some time, and now it's time to actually do it. Now it's time to move, and it feels intimidating. The building for some time is the fact that you've been working on yourself. You've been working on yourself. And there was vision, maybe you're journaling. You had some kind of direction in terms of getting to know the inner, maybe you're going to therapy even, getting to know the inner parts of yourself. To the fact that now you are aware that you're looking for happiness, and the happiness that you're wanting is in the middle of these cycles that you are scared to. I don't want to say that you're preventing it because you don't have control over it, but it's more of you're scared to approach. Kind of feeling like, be careful what you wish for, but then at the same time, you are capable of experiencing what it is that you're experiencing because you're experiencing it because you're ready. but it feels very heavily related to that. And also it's a 10. It's the end of something. It's the end of a cycle. You're getting to whatever the point is. Now with the world, the cycle, here again, we have a lot of this energy with the circles. There's confidence towards moving. Like there's confidence in reference to the direction and the purpose. But again, there's this sense of delay. Like you're stalling. And it could be that you're entertaining different things. Maybe you're feeding into your vices at this time. Scorpio season can have people doing that. With its extreme energy ruled by Mars and Pluto. Pluto being far and cold and Mars being close and hot. It's like this back and forth energy. And then also Scorpio representing desire and temptation. But there's this focus of inwardness, of your inner sight, your third eye. Here and here. And I say here because her hands and the eye in the middle look, and the circle in the middle or the ball, it looks like an eye. So this feels like an ascension that's taking place. And there's some fear in reference to experiencing it, because I wonder if you're ready. And then I also am getting the vibe of fear of success. Like you didn't imagine it going well, or you didn't imagine the ending of it, or what you would do when you received what it is that you asked for. And now that you're here, it's intimidating because what am I going to do? What do I do now? All right, now we're going to look at your focus for the month. This focus will be helpful in terms of keeping you grounded. Let's look at the focus of the month. I have this feeling at the pit of my stomach. Maybe you do too. And maybe that's why you're so tired. Maybe that's why you're so tired. Because on a spiritual level, you're doing a lot. Outcomes, consciousness. We have the frequency of consciousness supports our ability to focus our attention on all the multidimensional aspects that show up so that we can include them into our reality. Yeah, getting the vibe of a spiritual thing, especially with the dodecahedron. The dodecahedron. And third eye chakra caught my attention here. It says third eye, the frequency of the third eye chakra, the indigo flower of life, supports our intuition and our inner knowing, our imagination, and our psychic powers. What number 6 is on top? But that feels... What's the focus for the month for Gemini? What's the focus of the month for Gemini? What is the focus of the month for Gemini? What is the focus of the month for Gemini? What's the focus of the month for Gemini? Belief is at the bottom of the deck, 11. It says the frequency of belief supports our sense of self-worth based on our gifts and talents and a strong connection to source. Belief. And again, I'm getting the feeling of you feeling afraid. Maybe you're questioning your mental faculties at this time. I feel like just understanding that you're okay if you... Understanding that you're okay if you feel that way. even if you feel that way and it's being challenged by your own thoughts, I feel like there's this sense to just know that you are. 36, prosperity. The frequency of prosperity supports our feeling of well-being by allowing the inclusion of everything that makes our mind, body, heart, soul, and spirit sing. It invites us to express ourselves in joy and celebration of the abundance and riches that the universe provides. Yeah, this feels like a good thing, Gemini. It does feel intimidating, though. I can't lie. I do have this intimidated feeling, but it also, with that feeling, it feels like you're going to be opened up to a whole new world. 18, cosmic flower. The cosmic flower of, the frequency of cosmic flower activates our remembrance of the place we call home, the core from which we pour our magnificence out into the world. So remember to be yourself and to connect with that which is around you. We have tantric journey or tantric journey. 42. The frequency of tantric journey helps us to unlock the hidden knowledge and wisdom that we intrinsically hold about how to reach a state of wholeness and completion through our sensual experiences with ourselves and with others. Interesting that that comes out. And lastly, we have sacral chakra. What? Many signs get this. The frequency of the sacral or sacral chakra, the orange flower of life, supports our ability to flow with our desires and stimulates our creative power to manifest success and abundance in our lives. So right now you're at a place where you feel like the magician. If you watch Stranger Things, I'm feeling 11 vibes. And things are evolving in a way that can be hard to explain to somebody else, which is why it's hard to explain. I think it's because you're meant to go through this with yourself and have this be the starting of your relationship with yourself, if that's where you're at. This union of your masculine, feminine sides. It feels with the Gemini card as well as with the King and Queen of Cups. With the King and Queen of Cups, I feel like there's this union that's taking place. Gemini, I wish you all the best. You got this. You experience nothing you can't handle. Yeah, if you feel like you need support in any way, please feel free to comment down below. Let's create a conversation. What you're going through, many other Geminis may be going through it too. So you talking about it, if you feel called to, can start a conversation and show that they are not alone or you're not alone. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like it. And if you like this kind of content, don't forget to subscribe so that you get more of it. All right, take care. I'll see you in December, Gemini. Toodles.